The member for Isaacs.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Home Affairs. Clause 2.11 of the Ministerial Standards requires the Minister to avoid conflicts between his private interests and his official duties. But according to media reports, the Minister chose to participate in government discussions on the childcare industry to offer what he said was the point of view of operators. Does the Minister consider he has complied with Clause 2.11 of the Ministerial Standards when his childcare businesses have reportedly received in excess of $5 million in taxpayers' money and he chose to participate in those discussions about childcare?
The Minister for Home Affairs has the call.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I thank the Shadow Attorney for his question. I have always complied with the Cabinet rules. I've declared any interests that I've had in any discussion. I've been very clear about that. I've recused myself from discussions where that's been deemed appropriate, and I've seen some erroneous media reports, but I can't add anything further than that.
The member for Calare. The member for Isaacs.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. When asked in question time whether the Minister for Home Affairs excused himself from all discussions on childcare owing to his interest in childcare centres, Malcolm Turnbull undertook to seek advice from the Cabinet Secretary and report back to the House. Given the government shut down the Parliament before Mr Turnbull had the opportunity to provide this advice, will the Prime Minister now honour Malcolm Turnbull's promise and advise the Parliament whether or not the Minister for Home Affairs excused himself from all discussions on childcare?
The Prime Minister has the call.
I thank the member for his question. I will make inquiries with the Department Secretary and come back to the House.
The member for Hinckley. The member for Isaacs.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Home Affairs. I refer to the Minister's answer just now that he had recused himself from government discussions on childcare. Is this an acknowledgement from the Minister that he has a conflict of interest when it comes to the Commonwealth's dealings on childcare?
The Minister for Home Affairs has the call.
The answer is no, Mr Speaker. In an abundance of care, I make the declaration of my wife's interests in relation to these matters, and that's been my practice for a long period of time.
The member for O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And